A lot of people are considering to buy the new facelift version of the XPeng G6 Single Range, but not knowing that the new single range version has some differences in terms of configuration. So on this video, we are going to go through all the changes that the XPeng G6 Single Range has compared with the other configurations of the XPeng G6, so that no one buys the single range by mistake. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hugo and this is the XPeng G6 Diaries. If you are new to the channel, I do publish a lot of content related to my transition from an ICE car to an EV, mainly with my XPeng G6. So yes, I did say by mistake, because I did get already a lot of people contacting me, sending me messages and leaving comments on my videos saying that they have made the purchase or the pre-booking of the single range version of the facelift XPeng G6, but then they are starting to realize that the configurations are not the ones that they expect. So when I got my car, my XPeng G6, a couple of months ago, so before this facelift new version, the single range had no difference at all in comparison with the other configurations. So the only difference that XPeng was bringing was the size of the battery and of course the performance of the car. But with these new facelift versions, XPeng did decide to change a little bit the configurations, and people need to be aware of these changes before they put their booking or pre-booking on XPeng. So here we are. I did download the XPeng product sheet from the German site, because in Portugal and in some other countries we don't have this information very clear, and I think this is the best way to check the differences. So I will go through this information, not going through everything because most of the things are still the same between all configurations. So I will just try to remark the things that are different so that you guys can make your purchase with confidence and knowing what you are acquiring. So let's start by this. So this is basically the size and exterior of the car, and as you can see, most of the things are exactly the same. There are a difference in terms of weight, but because of the difference in battery. So the remaining things are exactly the same. So the size, the amount of volume of the boot, so it's exactly the same. So let's move on. Then here you can see that the motor is exactly the same. Of course, the performance has a different thing, but let's not focus on that. The kilowatts are also different, and of course then the power of the car is also a little bit different related to the performance. This means that the 0 to 100 is of course much better on the performance side, but let's go and continue. Here, one of the difference is that now the LFP batteries are on all configurations. So not only the standard range has an LFP battery and the remaining ones with NMC batteries, but all cars now have LFP batteries. You can see then there is a difference in terms of size of the battery. So on the single range, it's only 68.5, and then net is 67.8, while the other cars have a bigger battery, so more kilometers, as you can see here. The consumption is more or less the same, so 17.3, 17.5, and then of course a little bit higher on the performance because it has different motors. The platform is exactly the same, 800 volt architecture, 11 kilowatt for AC charging, and this is the time for charge. Let's go forward. Vehicle to load exactly the same. It's exactly the same, the suspension and also the modes that you can drive. So let's move forward. Now, here is the main difference that I believe you should be aware if you want to buy a single range. So the single range do not have the NVIDIA Orin X chip. This chip is the chip related to the functions of the car, mainly on the self-drive, so a DAS system of the car. So if you go for the standard range, this time the XPeng G6 does not have the NVIDIA Orin X included. This means that it can only do ACC, LCC, ATC, so basically cruise control, adaptive cruise control, keeping the car inside the lanes. It can also help you to adjust the speed of the car in curves, but it will not do ALC. This means auto lane changes. And I would believe, I don't have this information, I would believe that future upgrades of the ADAS system, this new standard range will have more difficulty to follow in. If you are buying an XPeng because of the ADAS system, if you want to have advanced features for the self-driving, you should think on the long range or the performance model. Okay, let's continue here. So for the XPilot Assist part, everything is exactly the same. So the cars do exactly the same things, at least now. Okay, so we are talking about today, that it's the end of November. Okay, also the XPilot Assist features all is equal. Okay, then on the infotainment system, everything is equal, including the AC system. Everything is exactly the same. And then we are coming here to the tires. For instance, you only have the rims, 18-inch rims for the standard range, and for the remaining configurations, you have the 20-inch rims. Then we have also the USB ports, and the sound system is exactly the same also between all configurations. And then you have here another difference. So this thing, I had to translate this thing is the rear view mirror. And on the XPeng G6 standard range, the facelift version, it's still manual rear view mirror. So basically it's exactly the one that I have, because on the original or the initial G6 there was only manual rear view mirror, while on the long range and performance model you have a digital one that you can also put in manual, but it's a digital one. Okay, so if this is something important for you, you need to take in consideration that the standard range doesn't have the this one. Okay, then everything is equal. Then you have here this one that I had to translate also. This means that there is a fake leather on the standard range, so it's a synthetic leather, while on the others it's Nappa, so it's leather itself. Okay, so the remaining stuff here, it's also the same here again, but the message seats. So now the G6 also have some massage seats that you can have, but on the standard range you don't have that. Okay, so this is also important to state if this was a feature that you wanted to have. As you can see, all the remaining stuff is exactly the same. Again, here also exactly the same. And then we are entering now in options in colors, interior and exterior, and that's it. So on this document, I don't see anything related to the dash cam. I try to find, but as I am not a German speaking person, I try to translate dash cam and try to find in several ways, but I didn't find any information about the dash cam, because I did got many people saying that also standard range doesn't have dash cam included. So guys, if you know anything about that, just leave in the comments so that we can have the full picture of the configurations of the new facelift models. But again, let me just try to resume very fast what are the main differences. So the cars are still more or less the same. There are a couple of differences that are related to the rear view mirror, that it's manual, still manual, as it was in the previous version. And the performance and long range do have a digital rear view mirror. And there is a difference on the chip, the hardware, that I believe it's the most important change that you need to consider if you are thinking on buying an XPeng, that on the standard range, it doesn't include an Orin X chip, and it is very clearly stated that ALC, that it's the auto lane change, it's not included on the car as feature. So if you get a new facelift XPeng G6, you will not be able to do that, and we don't know with new features what could be in the standard range or not. but we don't know also what could be in the other cars with the only one Orinex chip. So it's always an unknown situation. But of course, you need to take into consideration that you don't have the Orinex chip if you go for the standard range. And another thing that I found, it's related to the rims. So only 18-inch rims that are possible for the standard range. And finally, the fake leather on the seats. So these are the main differences that you will find on the standard range facelift version of the XPeng G6. So guys, this was the video that I planned to do. It was just an alert because I do still see many people where the new models are coming to those countries and making a lot of people purchasing the standard range and then changing their purchase to the performance or to the long range versions. So I am trying to help you guys to understand what is already included or not, but please be aware because sometimes the configuration in some countries are somehow different. So you should go, and if you are thinking on buying a standard range and you have doubts on the type of equipments, do contact the XPeng dealership in your country. I am trying with this video just to make clear what is included in each configuration so that you know what to purchase better for you. Okay, guys, so this is it. This was a decision by XPeng. It's a commercial, marketing, or whatever decision it is. I'm not here to judge, but it is what it is. So I hope this helped someone to make the right booking of their new car. It's always good to be here with you guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye, guys. Ciao.